Today is another book review day, and it is, I believe, the fifth book that I have read from the 2015 reading challenge. I'll put a little link down below in the description box to the challenge, and also links to the other videos that I've done for book reviews for books involved in this challenge. So this week I have been reading a book that fits into the category of a book with a one-word title, and this week I have been reading Tampa by Alyssa Nutting. Before I go any further, I will just put out there, if you are under 18, it's probably best if you don't carry on watching this video. This book is very sexually explicit. So if you're under 18, I probably wouldn't read the book either. I'll tell you a little bit more about it anyway, but I just wanted to warn you, if you are under 18, this book contains very adult themes. So I will leave it there, but I will read you the blurb and then talk to you about the book like I usually do. Under the sunny suburban skies of Tampa, Florida, Celeste Price starts a new job as a teacher at her local high school. She has film star looks, a red sports car, a square-jawed husband, and one big secret: a relentless desire for 14-year-old boys. Unrepentant and monstrous, Celeste behaves outrageously to pursue her prize, but will she get caught, and how far will she go to satisfy her desires? I don't really know what to say about this book. When I started reading it, thoughts were forming in my head about what I would say in my book review video, and I was ready to tell you all not to read it. However, when I got to the end, my thoughts dramatically changed. It starts off like porn. It is so sexually explicit, I can't even begin to describe the language used in this. I'm not a prude and I'm not easily offended, but I was genuinely shocked with the way the language and the story was going. Celeste is a 25-year-old high school teacher, and the only reason she wants to work in a high school is so that she can find some 14-year-old boys to have sex with. She is married. Her husband is about 10 years older than her, and he's a policeman. And she's not satisfied with him. She basically married him a little bit for the money and a little bit for the security, but there's no love between them. She doesn't like being with him. He irritates her. He appears to love her and wants to spend time with her. She just wants 14-year-old boys. And the first chunk of this book is her explicit sexual fantasies about what she would do to these young boys. I did feel a little bit uncomfortable reading this, especially, I don't know if you've kind of seen in the news about things that have happened in the UK in the past kind of 5 or so years, but there's been a lot of accusations towards TV personalities, presenters, men, who had apparently, and I don't know whether it's true or not, I wasn't there, I don't know, but apparently sexually assaulted young girls kind of in the 60s and 70s. And it's been a big deal, and everyone's looking at these men as dirty old perverts, and it's disgusting. They're underage girls, and these are men in positions of power and authority, and they're abusing their power, apparently. Like I say, I'm not going to say whether or not they did or didn't do it. But it is an awful thing to think that there could be a man who's old enough to be someone's dad doing sexual things with someone who is a lot younger, who might not be mentally mature and whatever. And it is a horrible, horrible thought. And then there's a woman who's doing it. And I am actually speechless, which is quite a shock, really, for me anyway. But this woman will stop at nothing to get a young boy into bed with her. And she basically scans her classroom for what type of boy would be best. She doesn't want anyone too masculine. She doesn't want anyone whose voice is broken. She just wants a boy who is like a boy, with braces, who's really skinny, who hasn't developed muscles or, you know, kind of grown into themselves yet. And it also has to be somebody that she can trust not to tell anybody, that won't gloat that they've had sex with the teacher. And it's so disturbing what she does. And then she finds one boy that she likes. His name is Jack. And she basically pounces on him one lunchtime. She asks him to stay behind after class. She locks the classroom door and she basically just undresses herself in front of him. And when you think about if it's true that these men, these celebrities, had done that kind of thing to young girls, and this woman in this book, Celeste, she's proud and excited, and that's her main focus. She doesn't even care about teaching these kids. She just wants to find one to have sex with, and she gets it with Jack. And it is just sordid and dirty and horrible. It does make you cringe. You have to keep reminding yourself that this is a young boy. He's 14 years old. Because in your head, when you're reading the sex scenes, you're thinking of it being two consenting adults. And it isn't, and you have to keep reminding yourself of this. And it is a really strange thing to read. It is so well written. I can't deny how well written it is. And the emotion that it evokes and the response in you as you're reading it, it feels wrong. It's one of those car crash books where you shouldn't be reading about a 25-year-old woman having sex with a 14-year-old boy. But you need to know why. Why is she doing this? What is compelling her to do this? And you can understand the boys. They're all hormonal. This woman is attractive, sexual. They've got all these hormones riding around in them. And if she shows them attention, they're going to go for it. But for her, it's just sex. For these boys that are so unaware, it turns into love. And that's when, not that it wasn't dark to start with, but it gets even darker. And towards the end, oh my goodness, it is so sad. There are situations that arise because of her behaviour. And I nearly cried. I felt so sorry for this young boy who'd been put in a situation that he didn't know what he was getting himself into. And it was horrific. And like I said, at the beginning, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to tell everybody not to read this because it is just disgusting. It is disgusting, vile, sexually explicit. I kind of almost felt it was a bit unnecessary. But as the book went on, you got into these characters' heads and you got to feel, not for Celeste, not for this woman, you don't feel for her, but you feel for the boys that she's weaving her web and she's drawing them in with promises that she's not going to fulfill. She just needs her sexual urges dealt with. And the only way they can be dealt with is with these young boys. And although, like I say, it's a horrible subject and a horrible thing to be reading about, and you have to constantly remind yourself of what it is that's happening, it is a really good book. It is gripping, and it's not something you can enjoy per se because of the subject matter, but I think it is worth a read. And it leaves you gobsmacked, it leaves you speechless, but it also leaves you with a lot to think about. And I think that's what good literature should be, or any good art form. I don't like going to an art gallery and seeing nice pictures of flowers and cows in a field. It doesn't make me feel anything. I like to see and read and experience things that make me feel. And this made me feel disgust. It made me feel empathy and sympathy and sorrow and sadness and discomfort. And I really think it is a good book. But like I say, only read it if you're an adult and you're not easily offended and you're not going to kind of throw it out the window in total disgust, because it is disgusting. It is. This one's going to take a bit of time to digest, but if you can get past the first few chapters of her twisted, dark mind full of these obscure fantasies, then I think you will not necessarily enjoy it, but appreciate it. And it will make you think, and it will make you sit back and kind of reflect. So give it a go, but only if you're a grown-up. So if you would like to see any more of my book reviews, then please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every time I've read a book. I also give out writing advice every now and then, and do a little bit of shameless self-promotion where I talk about my own books, my own writing, and that kind of stuff. So if you're a reader and or writer and this is what you're interested in, then please subscribe to my channel, and have a good day, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.